Close your eyes, you'll be here soon. 1、2、3、4、5分時々本当に寝たいでもこのワードできないOh, Yasumi, oh, Yasumi, I know that it's hard to do. Let's go, party, show down tonight, golden ocean, and we'll try to waste that time in my head. Hold you, hands of time will wring my neck.
Dissociative disorder. Believe it or not, if you are really interested in things like nostalgia core, liminal space, and dreamcore, there is a good chance you might be disassociating when overthinking or indulging in these internet subgenres. Don't worry, I'm not saying that just because you're interested in these subcultures that you have dissociative disorder. But just think about it the next time you're binging nostalgia core videos at 3 a.m. Wondering when all the color faded. Sorry about that. Let's get back on the script. Dissociative disorder has only been diagnosed for 5% of the Earth's population. So why would I expect anyone to relate to OMORI, a game about a kid suffering from this exact thing? Is what I thought before I remembered 5% of 8.2 billion is 410 million people. So... OMORI. A story also featuring a kid with dissociative disorder, with him often staying in his own dream world while he sleeps in the real world. His dream world even showing off a lot of dreamcore properties alongside liminal sounds and music. Just a quick heads up though, OMORI is a game that is best experienced blind. No, oh my god, no, not like that. Look, I just wanted to let you know, going forward, there is going to be spoilers. I know I'm just asking people to leave here, but if you haven't played OMORI or at least watched somebody else play it, please go play it first, or at least go watch my Let's Play on it if you still want to support me. Quick warning though, they were recorded with my old mics. The audio quality isn't the best. Also, I know there's a good chance this video mostly goes to OMORI fans, so you probably don't even care about that spoiler warning, but this is the last chance, last warning, okay? Spoilers ahead, so don't say I didn't warn you. When we first begin OMORI, we are shown someone speaking to our main character. That someone being our good friend, Basil. Also, I'm just gonna go ahead and drop this here. UK and US versions of Basil are pronounced differently. You might hear some people say Basil, and some people say Basil. I really looked this up. I didn't want to sound like an idiot. I'm going to continue to say Basil because it rolls off my tongue easier. Apparently it's an American thing, so sorry about that. And we seem to wake up in some small room known as white space. And that was a bit of a lie, because if you start moving, you'll see we can move way outside these walls. And while exploring out here, you might notice a small knife on the floor that you can equip. This of course only happens after you interact with the few things that exist in white space. These being a laptop, a sketchbook, and a cat. We also have a random box of tissues. Insert super inappropriate joke about a growing boy having a box of tissues in his room. Even though it's pretty clear that this game is going to have a lot of sad tones on it, so that's why the tissues are there. I do think it's a little weird to make that joke, but I see why people make it all the time. With the final interactable being a closed door. Once OMORI equips the knife, he feels okay enough to leave white space and open this door. Something he wouldn't have done if interacting with it sooner. Walking out of white space, we are greeted with one of the most Dreamcore-esque songs I've ever heard, alongside so much color that your eyes are going to start throwing up rainbows. Before we're even given any time to process what we're looking at though, we get to meet a very enthusiastic Aubrey alongside Hiro and Kel. And after showing us that we need to break open watermelons when we see them, we're given some money, clams, and thrusted into what is known as Dream World. Aubrey, Kel, and Hiro all speak to you like you've been friends for a while now, even letting you know that two others, Mari and Basil, are waiting for you all down at the playground. After making your way down to said playground, you get to talk and interact with the whole group, once again making it seem like you've all been friends for a while now. Even finding out Mari is your older sister, and a love interest for Hiro. After being forced to play hide and seek, you get to meet all of the other playground residents. But while playing the game, Basil gets captured by our first enemy, Boss. After defeating him and saving Basil, we make our way down to Basil's house. However, when approaching his house, Aubrey and Kel get into an argument resulting in Basil's photo album ending up on the floor. I didn't mention it yet, but when finding out about Mari, we also learned Basil loves taking photos, and has a bunch of the whole game. After gathering all of the photos up and making our way inside, we sit down to look over and fix the album. After figuring out more about the friend group's dynamics, we finish fixing the photo album. And this is when Basil notices an extra photo. He mentions Mari while he looks terrified, and then we see this. We then once again wake up in white space. Although this time the door is now gone. Now here you can do what I did for my first time playing and run around for 30 minutes interacting, searching, and just plain looking stupid until you finally give up to open the pause menu and leave the game. And then you notice a new oddly red option. After selecting our new, totally not horrifying option, we seem to really wake up this time, laying in a bed in a much more realistic looking world. The real world. It seems to be only what I can assume is the middle of the night. After getting up, eating, and using the bathroom, we hear knocking at the front door. If we choose to ignore all of the how to survive a horror movie rules and investigate the knocking, we find out it's Mari saying she forgot her key to the house. Once again, choosing to ignore the survive a horror movie rules, we open the door to see... Scared on what I'm gonna see. That is not my sister. Holy shit. I think this is a good time to bring up. There is multiple endings to OMORI, even having multiple routes for each ending. There is the sunny route that shows off 3 separate endings, 2 of which are considered good, while 1 is meant to be the bad ending. There's also one other route besides the sunny route, and it is known as the Hikikomori route. Hikikomori route. I think. Hikikomori route? Something like that. Hikikomori route. This way of playing the game offers only 1 bad ending, and is generally considered to not be the best route to start with. One other thing to note is how the Hikikomori route is if Omori fully gives in to his dissociative disorder, and chooses to not interact with the world outside of his house. I'm currently recording another OMORI Let's Play, but I'm doing this route instead of the sunny one. And I'm planning on uploading 1 gaming video a month alongside a new What Is video, also every single month. So be on the lookout for those. And even though I said it was the final warning, if you've never played OMORI before and you just continued to watch this video because you don't really care too much about spoilers, the amount of info I told you won't change your experience at all if you still decided to go through semi-blind. So please, 1 final spoiler warning. Enjoy this game at its best, because I'm about to dive deeper into the story. As this game does hold a lot of dark secrets and twists that you find out while playing. But after our first jump scare, we wake up in the morning to a loud knocking again at the front door. So I'm not going to do this every single time that I get something wrong when I notice it while editing, because I'm getting really close to my deadline and I have to get this video out this month. But I was wrong right here. We do not immediately go back to bed and then wake up again. Once we go back to bed after sleeping, we do go to Dream World, and we actually do a lot in Dream World. You're not going to wake up until you finish another boss fight. So you're gonna have to help Mr. Captain Space X Boyfriend which I didn't actually go over in the script, never planned on going over in the script, but I just noticed that I got a little key detail wrong here. So if you want to learn more about him, play the game, watch a video on it. But just know, I missed this. You do this whole junkyard area first, and then you wake up to knocking. So, sorry about that. But after our first jump scare, we wake up in the morning to a loud knocking again at the front door. But we do listen to a voicemail at one point to find out our mother is going to be gone for a day or so, and that our father doesn't seem to be in the picture anymore. And for some reason that we don't know yet, Mari also seems to be gone. So our mom wants to remind us to take care of ourselves and do the chores. After finally getting annoyed with the knocking, we make our way down to the front door and greet. Oh, wow. What a pleasant surprise, actually, compared to what we just saw. We get to see an older, properly colored Kel. He was actually pretty surprised that we answered, as apparently we haven't left our house, or even hung out with people for a while now. But making last minute plans, Kel kind of just decides that we can just walk around and explore. And while hanging out, we find out a lot of different information, one of the most notable being that we're going to be moving away soon. And while I could go into detail about every little thing that happens during the Sunny Roots good ending, we would be here way longer than either of us want. So just understand there are 3 total days, and while awake, Omori is hanging out with Kel in the real world, and while asleep, you are of course in dream space. Fun little thing to know is you slowly realize that the people that are in your dream space are dream versions of real people you're meeting throughout the real life days. You may have noticed a second ago I mentioned only hanging out with Kel during the day, and that would be because Hiro is off to college, Aubrey, for some reason, is going through her edgy phase, and Basil is apparently almost just as much of a shut-in as Omori. And when he isn't, he's getting bullied by the local scooter gang. This includes Aubrey, as she is basically the leader of this gang. Also, earlier, it was unfair of me to say, for some reason, when talking about Aubrey's edgy phase, because she states later in the game during a fight with her that she's only like this because everyone stopped being friends and abandoned her, and she bullies Basil because he destroyed a bunch of photos of them in the photo album. Speaking of which, Aubrey apparently stole the book from Basil, and after we fight our way through a psychopath anime donut girl and destroying 3 slime girls alongside their whale house, all this being done in dream space of course, we decide to help Basil get his photo album and go looking for either him or Aubrey. Luckily for us, they are all together at our old hangout spot, and after a pretty heated argument, Aubrey then does this. Hiro is magically back from college at just the right moment. Aubrey runs away, and Hiro, Kel, and Sunny then bring Basil back to his caretaker. Whoa! Oh my! Okay, but how does this sprite convey this at all? She is so pretty! Wait, okay. Back on topic. We drop off the nearly drowned child and go to talk to Hiro's family. I need you to understand, I am skipping a lot of important details for time, because this isn't supposed to be a recap, but a small analysis. So if you want more story-wise, I suggest you once again play or watch it all the way through. Earlier, I said that the friend group fell out of touch, and there is one major reason for this. Mari, our older sister, is dead. And it's implied that Mari may have done this to herself. And after this, Basil and Omori became super shut-ins. Hiro went off to college, and, well, Kel and Aubrey already had a hard enough time getting along, so the whole group kind of just stopped talking. But on the final day, Sunny faces the truth. And after managing to find and apologize to Aubrey, the whole gang hangs out and goes to check on Basil. With him still not feeling well, the gang decide to hang out at Basil's house for the night. And it's here, when we go to bed, that we finally face the full truth of what really happened. Mari did not hang herself. She was killed by you. And Basil saw the whole thing. And whether it was shock, fear, or ignorance, instead of calling for help, Basil and OMORI drag his sister's body to the tree in the backyard, and they stage it as if she did it to herself. Jumping back to the present, Basil and OMORI then confront each other, in a fight that results in both of them in the hospital, where at the end of the game, OMORI can make two very different choices. If he chooses to once again face the truth, he walks into the room with his friends to tell them, well, the truth, if Basil wasn't already. And it cuts to black, and the credits roll. The story of OMORI is that of nostalgia, comedy, surrealism, horror, and trauma. Finding incredible ways to have a healthy balance of it all. One moment you're beating up a mob boss shark with gator henchmen, and the next you're watching your best friends beat Basil to death. I want to quickly bring up my personal thoughts on the story. One being the fact that I knew the sister was dead just a little before the game told me, but in no way was I expecting that kind of twist. Everyone walks away feeling a certain way about Basil and Sunny. Are they misunderstood? Maybe. Completely at fault? Excusable. But to certain people, Sunny and Basil are monsters. And please, I don't want to start any fights in the comments, but let me know your opinion on the story and, well, your opinion on Basil and Sunny's actions. You might still be asking yourself, gee, this sounds cool and all, but why are you bringing this up in the What Is series? Also, whoever keeps asking these super specific perfect segue questions, you get $3. And while I did slightly bring it up earlier, there are multiple aspects in OMORI that follow up the liminal, dreamcore, and weirdcore vibes. Things such as the clouds aesthetic that I'm often seeing, the nostalgic focus on one's childhood, the general dreamy aesthetic of the cutscenes and worlds, and of course the weirdcore vibes as we near the end of the game, with glitches, red hands, and floating eyes. You may have already noticed in the background of this video, but even multiple songs in OMORI have dreamcore and liminal aesthetics, often being beautifully portrayed alongside amazing art and animations. Songs such as 004-Spaces in Between, and 135-Calm. I just kind of felt I should justify why I made this before another weirdcore or Fruitager Arrow video. And I have one final point I would like to make about this game. OMORI is an incredible game with a great fan base. It really sucks when some form of really good media comes out, but then it gets ignored by new viewers or players simply because the fan base is generally considered to be cringe or bad. Thankfully, this is not a problem OMORI deals with, as its fanbase is one of the best I've seen, seeming to go out of their way to avoid spoilers for new players, and having a bunch of funny memes and posts. Although I will say that some of the art in the community has some spoilers, but I swear they try their absolute best to give warnings and to not ruin the story for people. Speaking of fan art though, the incredible art in this game acts like some sort of sleeper agent pill because every person with just a hint of artistic talent makes amazing fan art and fan animations for the game. All of these artists and their channels can be found in the description. I am recording this outro at 3 a.m. with work tomorrow in the big 2026. I need y'all to know that this video was recorded and almost entirely edited way back in 2025. Like, I mean, I think like, I want to say even before October sometime, I had done most of this video, and I mean, I don't want to go extremely into it, but I'm just assuming it was massive burnout and a lot of creative, I guess, drag that was keeping me from finishing this video, but it's finished. You've probably heard inside this video me talking about how I had a deadline I was supposed to finish and how I was planning on doing one What Is video a month and one gaming video a month. That ain't happening. Do not expect that. Expect What Is videos to come out. At least I'm hoping my realistic goal here is to at least make 6 this year. 6 What Is videos. It gives me 2 months to plan, write, edit, and fully make these videos. But I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. I have 2 new videos being worked on. Expect a video on either nostalgia core or core. Or maybe even, of course, weird core or future arrow. Other than that, though, I hope you have a nice day, because you know I will. Later.